back again. Thought we'd go in detail at the two different surface rigs we use. One is for flat calm conditions and the other is for when there's a ripple on or it's a bit windy and you need your bait to stay in one position. So first of all we'll go for the one. This is one, it's flat calm and you don't have to worry about your float moving. Right, first of all, just to show you this little setup here, what we've got here is one of these. It's one of the Fox bolt bubbles in large, what many sizes are there? Three sizes. Three sizes. It's £6. You get 2 floats, all the little kit to set it up, anti-tangle sleeves, little bait bands, swivels, really good that is. So I'll just show you how you set it up. Right, so what I've got here, that's your main line end. We've got an 8 main line. You want to use a fairly light line. The lighter the better really. The lightest you can get away with, but I recommend 8 or 10. Following down there, this is the float, and the line runs through the middle of that, like that. And this float's really good actually, because what you do, you just open these little bits here. And get one open. Oh, can't do it because I've got no nails. So anyway, you open these. I'll leave it that. And you can put water inside it. And what that allows you is it adds casting weight, so you can have it half full, or you can have it full, depending on how far out you're fishing. And believe me, when you fill it right up, you can really send them. Right, then we've got this little rubber grommet here, and that just fits. It's a little rubber grommet that just fits inside the float.
Take that paper out of the way, Ben, it's a bit glary, that is.
Oh, is it? Yeah. There you go. So there we go. There's your little rubber grommet. And what you do there is that just sits inside the float like that. So push that in there. See that? Sits inside. And you've got a swivel and then a little anti-tangle sleeve, and that just threads onto the swivel and stops the hook length kicking back. And then all you do, you just pull that swivel in there so it's all nice and tight. Do you want me to show that on the paper, or is that good enough? Like?
No, that's brilliant, that is.
Okay, so that's your float setup for your calm conditions. Say if it's a bit windy, what you do, really simple this is. Look, all we're going to do, remove that float, put that over there, and bring in one of these type floats. These are the top, attached top only. The trouble with these bubble type floats is they sit on the surface and they catch the wind. Yeah. Very similar. These are very similar to a waggler. You want to fish water without your float moving, you use a nice big waggler. So this test we've used a nice big float. And that'll mean your bait stays in the area for longer. So what I'll do there, if you just look over here, so I've just threaded a little tail rubber through the swivel like that. Take the line, pass it through the tail rubber. This will go through. Let's just do that. So all the way through the tail rubber, and then you just pull that onto the swivel like that.
Oh, that a bit.
And what that does, it eliminates tangles. These are quite prone to tangling, these floats. So if you have it on a little boom like that,
yeah.
Other good thing is if it gets snagged, that'll just pull off, and the fish won't be trailing it.
Is there any weight on those floats?
Yeah, it's weighted in the bottom, so what'll happen is, you imagine that's the surface of the water, my fingers, that's your target, that's what you'll see. And it will sink down there like that, and that's what provides the stability in the water. Right then, moving down the hook length, little anti-tangle sleeve, and then the hook length, you'll want about, I aim for about 4 or 5 foot of 8 line, same line. 8 to 6 line I'd use for the hook length, down to just get the pointer, size 10 hook. Got a Camus animal hook here, but any hook will do, as long as it's fairly on the small side. You don't want these 10s that are huge. Just a little small neat hook like that.
Is it wide gape or anything like that?
Yeah, I'd advise a pattern with a wider gape on it. I mean, that's got a fairly wide gape on it, but you know, the Corda do a specific float hook now, so get on that really. I'd recommend that. But anything with a wider gape, you want it quite a wide gape because you're using a bait that's tied to the hook in this case. And then what we've got is a little bait band. You just see that there. And what you do, you just loop it over and pass one end through the other, and what that creates is that little loop there, like that.
Okay.
And what I'm going to do is show you how to put a bait on. So I'll bring in the baits. All you need is a bag of baits, pot of baits. These are the ones we use because look at the colour of these. We've gone for the principle of, you know, when you float fishing you need to be able to see your bait, and what kind of float tips, bright orange. So that's what we've gone for. These are really visible, you can see these miles away.
That's for me really, because I'm blind.
But,
I can't
you
see
know,
biscuits.
When you're floater fishing, you don't actually watch the float. The float is you wait to cast, you watch the bait. No good watching the float, you'll miss bites. So yeah, go for that. Get one out for you. And as you can see, you know, it's just they absolutely stink as well. These are tutti frutti.
What product's that?
It's dynamite baits for the tutti frutti poppers.
That's the latest one, that is, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean the flavour's not so much important, but yeah, colour. I'll go for it. Right. All the fish sees a silhouette. That's what we do. I'm sure you've all used the bait needle before, but for those who haven't, bait needle. Just pass it through the bait.
Are they soft then, those pop-ups?
Oh, these are really soft. These needles. Usually you get pop-ups. They're rock hard because they've been on the shelf for ages, but these are. It's on the bait like that. I like these bait bands with a little gate on them. See that? Can you see that?
Oh, the needle, yeah.
Yeah. So it just closes. So what you do? Get your hook. So I've looped it on like that.
Yeah.
Pass the bait band through the bait. Take the bait needle out, and there you go. No need for a bait stop. What's happened is I pulled that elastic band through, the bait band. When it relaxes, it creates its own little bait stop there. And the brilliant thing about these bait bands is you can have the bait round there. You can have the bait just there, like that.
Oh, you can slide it round.
Or you can have it, all the way there, like that. Another little trick we show as well is, depending on what bait you're using, you get a pair of scissors, just any old pair of scissors, and just chop the bait. Oh, that bit of pop-up fly there.
Yeah.
Just chopping it like that, to make it into a little biscuit. Try to chop the bait bone, or the line.
You don't think they see that colour then?
No. What all the fish will see is a silhouette. So what I tend to do is just, you know, I mean, I'm not being fancy there. A few chops just to get it to know, you know, round about the size of the bait you're using. Good thing about these is you can have them that big. You can have them tiny little pellet. They'll still be really buoyant.
How long do those last?
Not ages. I mean, at Shatterford I was fishing. I had one pop up for the whole session.
Oh, so they don't tend to get the.
No, you can use these. I'd change them after every session, but unless you snap off, you rarely lose them. And that's it. Right. What we're going to do now is show you how it sits in the water, because we had a bit of a discovery while we were setting this up. So I'll just get the tank. Where is it?
I've got the tank.
You got the tank? Right.
I'm going to stop this while we set this up.
Okay. Right. Filming?
Yep.
Right then, we'll show our little discovery. What we've got there is the pop-up rig, and what we've done is just coloured this in. This is not for fishing, this is just so we can see it in the tank. I'm just going to show you how the line behaves. Got the bait on there like that, a hook, and this is the last piece of line. So what we're going to do is just drop it into the tank, and this is how it will sit in the water. So I'll just, you see that alright?
Yeah.
If you notice, I'm just going to get my bait needle in. Look at that there. That line really bowed down, and about 4 or 5 inches out, it's underwater. You know, if a fish comes up and tries to suck that bait in, it's going to feel that line straight away.
Especially if he comes from that side.
I mean, this is how I've been fishing, and you know, we're catching fish, but I've had a lot of aborted takes. So what we've discovered, I'll just take it out, and we'll show you what we're going to do to it. So what we got here is the mucilin. This is flying, isn't it? They use it too.
Yeah, that's what I use on my leaders when I'm fly fishing. I mean, I think you could probably get away with Vaseline.
Yeah. Any oily base sort of thing. And what that does, you know, you put it on your leader, it helps it float. So what I've got to do, get a bit on my finger, like that, and just get it and just All around the hook like
Do you
that.
reckon you'd have to do this up the full length of your hook?
No, I'd recommend it all up your line, but pay special attention to the last sort of 4 inches. So there's the bits we've right, and if we're going to pop that back in.
Yeah, so you can't see that line now. It's on top.
You can't see it at all?
Yeah.
No, that's good. See, before the line was coming down here, but now can you see the bait?
Yeah.
The line is perfectly on top, and make sure you get a little bit by the hook as well. I've just smeared a bit in the eye, and that line's perfectly on top, and I guarantee you get twice as many fish doing that. So we're gonna try it next time we go out. What I would recommend, we had a little mess about. We've noticed that if you put it in a second time, it doesn't really float. So put the time in.
I mean, the fly fishing, every 2 or 3 casts you re-grease your line. So I would imagine the same applies to this.
I mean, I'd grease after every cast, to be honest. I mean, you're leaving your bait out there for a while, but that just looks absolutely brilliant in the water. I mean,
no, honestly, you can't see the
can you
line,
see it from the top, or? Oh, no, can you see it from the top?
Yeah, the top's better because you've got you can actually see that floating on top.
It's just floating on top, and
I mean, as I say, I do the fly fishing and the whole length of the leaders greased like that, but you have to do it regularly.
Yeah.
Because we noticed that when we started messing with it out of the water after it greased it, as soon as you put it back in, it sank.
Yeah, but that is very nice indeed.
We've never done that, have we? That tank testing.
never done it, and look what it's shown up. I mean, I'll definitely be greasing my leaders from now on. That looks superb.
Okay.
Right then. Guess that'll be it. I mean, we'll try that next session and let you know how it goes on. Toodles.
It's Thursday evening and we've just popped down to Earlswood. It's pissing down the rain, but we've had a bit of a result. Benjo legend again with an 18.5 pound.
Second beast of was it?
Mirror carp.
Last time came down had a 19.5.
Massive. 19.5.
And then this is 18 between 6 and 9 ounces.
Well, that floater rig I think we haven't put the DVD on yet, but...
I'll put the floater rig on.
Alright, I'm going to close it down now, Ben, because we're running short on batteries.
Okie dokie.